keynote address. Very good morning. Respected Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. Nagappa Naik, and one more guest who is joining from USA, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt, Dr. Vimal Hawan sir, Dr. Amit Masar, my loving colleagues, all the professors and assistant professors and associate professors of GMIPSR, dearmost student friends. Good morning to everyone. Today it is a great day for GMIPSR because this is the first international webinar we are conducting. So in the coming days you may come across many international webinars, but because it's the first international webinar, this is a very significant day, and students will have an opportunity to expose to the what kind of services which will be given in India as well as in the USA. Because Dr. Mahadev Bhatt has served from 1972 to 2015 in US as in different departments, particularly in the clinical pharmacy. He served to the community. There are a lot many things, services which is required from the pharmacist to the community. Probably in India, pharmacy profession is very ignored or not identified profession, like doctors and engineers. Everyone knows about the doctors and engineers, but hardly few percentage of the community knows about the pharmacist. If you say what you are doing, you say I am a pharmacist, nobody could able to identify. Probably they may consider you as a farmer. So this kind of identity we have, the reason is because the responsibility what we have forgotten. Pharmacist should give the pharmacy service to the community, then only community could able to recognize our pharmacy profession. So this is a service sector, like a medical sector. This is a service sector. You need to have a lot of care and love towards your community, particularly with respect to their health is concerned. When somebody prescribes some drug to your community, say for example in your home itself, your father, grandfather, grandma may be taking some drugs, but you are simply ignored to know what kind of drugs which have been prescribed to them. Whether those drugs can be continued for a long period, does they have some contraindication, does they have some complication when it is continued for a very long period. So these kind of care, if it is being taken by the pharmacist, definitely a pharmacy care will start in India also. In India also, like in US, how pharmacy profession is considered equally as the medical profession, the same recognition will come to pharmacy profession in India also. So as a budding pharmacist, it is your responsibility to take utmost care towards your community with respect to their health is concerned. Is that clear? So you are the one who could able to say majority of the students, majority of the patients with respect to medical errors which is happening. In India, majority of the medical errors is happening because of the communication error. There are many errors are there in the healthcare system. So as you are the one who is directly in contact with the patient, could able to help the patients to come out of all the errors so that whatever the errors which is happening in the medical system can be minimized. So with respect to this community pharmacy concern, we have organized, and sir is very much enthusiastic. Perhaps sir has contacted me 2 or 3 times. This time today, the time has came to give a platform to Dr. Nagappa Naik to address the budding pharmacist. Definitely, sir will be to and like lot of enthusiasm to all the budding pharmacists. I welcome Dr. Nagappa Naik on behalf of my management and college and students. Thank you. So again, through technology, one more speaker is connected to us, Dr. Mahadev Bhatt. I welcome Dr. Mahadev Bhatt on behalf of management, college and students. So welcome to Dr. Mahadev Bhatt. So now it is your responsibility just to not only complete this session, 1 hour, 1 hour or 2 hour session, completing and going back without any significant intake. See, whatever you hear today, that you should practice in your life. Just like how the doctors will going to practice after their MBBS or MD, they are going to practice their profession. But in India, pharmacists are not practicing their profession. So what you need to practice is that all the insight speakers will going to give you today. So what were all the services we are going to give to the community, those things will be covered today. Is that clear? So if you can start giving your service to the community, definitely community will start recognizing you and you have an opportunity to get a revenue out of it. That is also one of the another possibility where you can earn for your better life. So with these few words, once again I welcome the speakers and the forum is open to all the students. After the session is over, if you have any questions with respect to the whatever the doubts you have, you are free to ask to the speaker and take this time with a fruitfulness. Take a wealth of knowledge from the senior most professor Dr. Nagappa Naik. He served in Manipal, he served in many other universities. He is a mentor for many of the successful pharmacists and many teachers. So with these few words, I conclude my words. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you for the keynote address. Now I request all the delegates on stage to inaugurate our webinar session by watering the plant. I take this opportunity to introduce our speaker, the first session speaker, Dr. Nagappa Naik. Sir had completed his B.Pharm and M.Pharm graduation from Government College of Pharmacy, Bangalore. Later on, he pursued his PhD from Birla Institute of Technology, BITS, Pilani, Rajasthan. And Sir have delivered more than 350 webinars on community pharmacy and community connect program. And Sir have publications in various national and international journals. And Sir had academic visits to countries like US, USA, Netherlands. And Sir is having nearly 44 years of experience in academics as well as in industry. So it is my great privilege to invite Dr. Nagappa Sir for this session. Please join me with a round of applause in welcoming Dr. Nagappa Sir. We welcome you, sir, and thanks to you, sir.
Very good morning. Thank you, Principal Sir, and all my colleagues. I call them because I am old. It is a very nice privilege to be amongst you to address about the drugs, what we are concerned with, and we are the world best pharmacy as far as the drugs are concerned. And whenever you light a lamp, there is always darkness beneath it. So in that way, we have a very crucial, very dangerous, very risky situation in the country. I'm scared you because it's a reality. All the drugs whatever are manufactured, even today, any synthetic origin or the some other origin do carry a risk. Do you believe it? So they have this thing. It's only the dose that determines whether the drug is acting as a drug or it can produce some serious ill effects on human being. So for this only we conduct a series of clinical trials, you are aware, preclinical studies and then clinical studies, and then we release in the market, but with a pinch of salt. When it is released, they also say that there should be pharmacovigilance. Why the pharmacovigilance should be there? When they have done so much of study and all the things. See, a lot of drug discovery is a very huge investment industry. Taking a lot of money from our taxpayer money or whatever it is, they are investing. But success rate is again this. And then after coming into the market, nobody is sure the market is going to behave in a proper manner. Because it may turn into a villain later on. So many drugs have done so far. I'm not telling you do this for you, but it is true. For example, stilbosterol, the old example. The latest example is Remusol. These molecules, when they were introduced, we thought that they are going to create a new area for health, and people with joint pain, they get really very happy. Of course, joy was short-lived because it showed side effects. It did not show on the joints, it showed on the heart. There are many heart failures, COX-2 inhibitors are known for that problem. That problem is there. And that problem, unless you solve it, that product cannot be used and the drug will die. And this is how our market, I'm telling you, it's our market. And we are in a very difficult situation. Whenever we fall in, whenever we are okay, it's okay. Whenever we are not so okay, also all right. When you become critically ill, your condition gets worse. I have a personal example. I have personal experience. My wife succumbed to the multiple drug exposure. She was a bit negligent as her health concern, and she had developed diabetes and converted into dialysis, and then ICU, 15, 1.5 months in ICU, and life was horrible for us because I'm a pharmacologist by training. I had a lot of things I am knowing, but due to a situation in our country, I cannot raise a voice because there was a kidney specialist acting on advising her on dialysis, and there was a neurologist because no pain was there. There was a pathologist, there was a problem of gut. So many people acted independently and prescribed medicines. Unfortunately, when she was succumbed to that, she survived for 1 month in the ICU. And they gave me a medical bill of 15 lakhs. So that's fine. The money part is different and her health is very important. And then I have to lose her. So this is how the system works. So there are doctors, there is no accountability for them. In our country, there is no accountability for doctors, what he prescribes. And there are pharmacists who are reckless, who don't care, who don't bother. We are focused only in the industry. We are called and identified as pharmacists because of our industrial power. When service comes, as the principal has said, it is true. We are unrecognized. So why is it unrecognized? He also given me this, and I illustrate his saying by examples. See, my father was a pharmacist. If you have gone to Haryana, the police station or medical shop is there, your medical shop. It belongs to my father. And he was a pharmacist. And what type of pharmacist? Without any training. In 1955 or earlier, there was no pharmacy colleges. So at the time, our drug control department, Dr. Ken Shanmughi was the drug controller, and one more Kati Shankar and all the people were there. They thought how to sit down, it's few. There is no colleges, and suppose we start college also, it will take 3 years. So these 3 years, how to resolve this issue? How to see that the drugs reach the hands of the patient through doctors. Then they came out with an idea of 3 weeks training. Those who know, those who have know the knowledge of English, and they can come and have a 3 weeks training and they can talk about it. So my father was the same fellow at the time, and then he went there and he completed along with his friend, and he started a medical shop. When he started a medical shop, he had no knowledge. Oh, here, see, if there is a will, there is a way, I am telling you. If there is a will, there is a way. He wanted to learn about drugs. What he did, the medical representative used to visit the doctor, and then they used to come to the medical shop to keep the stocks. So at that time, my father spoke in a very nice manner, offered them coffee, cigarette, order this thing, and then extract the information and you request what did you say to the doctor. So like that, within 3 years, he was very much confident about drugs, and several times doctors used to come and ask, Nagappa is not my name. My name is Ananta. I buy shield because he was so nice. So I steal my father's name. So I am known professional circles in Nagappa, and he was a very veteran pharmacist. And then what happened in that process? He learned it, and then doctors used to understood. And in those times, as even today also, there are many snake bites. In the villages like around villages and all, snake bites used to happen. And there was one medicine available by the hockey institute, today it's available. It is called an anti-snake venom. And it used to cost 500 rupees in those times. 500 rupees is nothing for you now. Those times, it's a very huge amount for a businessman like my father. So my father always invested this 500 rupees and kept that while ready. No other people, no other pharmacist kept that medicine. And people used to come and knock on our door in night times because neighbor happens in the night only. So, and at the time my father used to go and open the shop and give medicine. And like this, he became very, very popular in the community. His nature was known, and then I am telling you one story I am telling you. See, we feel that why we have to serve the community, there is no recognition, nobody, no supporters. No. Community misses. It flows really organically. In that, people are observing. People are observing what's happening, what you are, what you aim for. So when you behave in a proper manner, when you have an ethical bent of mind, people will recognize it. And it happens so. My father was a successful businessman, and he diversified. When a lot of money comes, people will enter into other fields like that. They enter into fertilizers, they enter into seeds, and he used to be a medical dental college there, opposite one surgical industry was there. My father became the MD of that company. So all these things happen. But then, whichever goes up, has to come down. So my father was received by his own friends. Like it happens in his movie. He became bankrupt. But it did not affect us. I'm telling you. Whatever he lost, he did not affect us. So after that, he had to come to medical shop, because then he started. When he came to medical shop, there also he found that empty cover. No medicine, because they that was also taken out all the medicine and started all the ventures of my father. It happened in real estate. I'm not telling you fiction. I have seen it. And then at that time, my father used to go and open the shop. People virtually used to come with a prescription. Check that whether the medicine is available in my shop. Then they used to go to other shop. Like this, the community bagged him like anything. Within 3 years, he divided all his economic risks. So remember, when you are good to people, people are good to you. They will not excess you, they will not give you, they will not come and honor you, they will not give you garland and all you are good. But they will remember, common man will remember, this is the power of community, that's why community is very important. So that's why I am fascinated by the power of community. It will remain silent, but act when it is required. This is how the community pharmacy fascination has grown in me. And then can I stop with that? So I will not take over my time. So this is about the diagram. And then next I want to tell you about the law. In 2015, Government of India and the Pharmacy Council of India, PCI Act, they came out with a rule called as Pharmacy Practice Regulations. Pharmacy Practice Regulations. These regulations are very important, and we all, like-minded people, thought that these pharmacy practice regulations have come and we are going to change the behavior. But it never happened. But when we, and instead of it, we made like a see, we Indians are very, very lazy people. Especially our pharmacists, we are very, very lazy. We don't want to move ahead and see what's happening, how we catch up the opportunity. So again, it is 2024, 9 years lapsed, no market is done. I have written 7 letters to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to take up this issue and make it into a implementation of the act. Can I have the first row? No, not next page. Come to the law. This is the Gazette of India's notification in 2015. It is Pharmacy Practice Regulations 2015, which we must be very much aware of this law. Why? So there, last 2 lines are very important. Last 2 lines are very important. Practice of pharmacy. Practice of pharmacy means what? Interpretation, evaluation, and implementation. Interpretation, evaluation, and implementation. What is interpretation? Interpretation of prescription given by a doctor. You have to interpret it in a better manner because you are also trained in all the clinical subjects. You know dispensing pharmacy, you know pharmaceutics, you know pharmacology, you know pharmacology, everything you know. You are a treasure of knowledge. You are all treasure of knowledge, but that knowledge, you don't use it. It is as not knowing about it. So interpretation. Interpretation means you have to interpret what's happening. What is the, not only a live patient in front of you. There is whatever, here, assembly and whatever, you ask, and if you try to ask his AD, this is who has brought the prescription, ask the patient what has happened to him. And you must see what drugs are prescribed, whether it is a suitable drug, whether the dose is correct. All these things have to happen very quickly because patient have no patience. Patient have no patience, and you want to turn away from you. You want to turn away from you, he doesn't want to see you. He has come out of necessity only. You see, go and see medical how we behave. You give a prescription and immediately you give it, he will come out. He will be there only, but he will not give over to stand in front. He has an inherent disagreement. Or he doesn't like a medical process. Like that we do. Okay. Then the evaluation. Evaluation is there. Yes, and it matters. And if there are any doubt, immediately you have to contact the doctor. And then the implementation. You have to make a pharmacy critical care plan. It's called as pharmaceutical care plan. No, the medicines are just prescribed by a doctor. Okay. And then his job ends. He will diagnose, he will look into lab reports, and still is there in that, and he will write a prescription and send it to the pharmacy. So then the pharmacy will evaluate it, isn't it? Implement it. So makes a pharmaceutical order. And not only that, this law provides extra provisions for the pharmacist. What are the extra provisions? That second line, participation in drug and device selection. Which drug will be given? The doctor has to ask. Because so many drugs are there, so many devices are there, which is suitable for the patient. It is a teamwork. Please remember, healthcare is a teamwork. There is no superiority, no inferiority. If you are properly placed in an environment where you can practice your profession, then the doctor will definitely ask you, because he is incompetent in selection of drug and devices. In a sense, God is good for the patient. That selection, a pharmacist contribution is also there. The pharmacist has to contribute. Has to go to the level of the knowledge of the physician and music. And then comes the drug administration. Who will do the drug administration? Nursing. Isn't it? So we have also been provided a power to drug administration. So we are also, like they are also have some powers in dispensing and in about drugs. So we three are the partners, pillars of healthcare. We three are the doctor, nurse, and pharmacist are the pillars of healthcare. All of us have to work in a team. That was missing when my wife was fallen. They never discussed with anybody. Even they did not discuss anesthesiologist, never discussed the case with the surgeon. Like this, we are seeing all these things. That's why the mishaps are happening at the end of life. Quality of life of the patient is horrible. What is quality of life? When you spend money, you expect improvement in your health. You expect an improvement in your health. That is only possible if you work in a proper manner, the scientific way if you give it, then only. I told you about the limitations of the drugs. Drugs are not final solutions. They will not bring end to your diabetes. They will not bring end to your cigarette. They can only manage. They can only manage. So, next step. I have a form picture. So, not yet. Okay, I've got 2 more minutes. I'll maybe have a few more minutes. So, 11 o'clock I will. So board of ethics, I told you about the ethics and how it, my father was privileged to enjoy the patronage of the community. I'll take one more example. I know this one. Citizen was. My students presented to me when I went to Kerala. He runs a pharmacy there. He runs a pharmacy there. He runs a pharmacy. So Pradeep Damodaran in a village called as Camalos. Camalos is a small town in the Bangalore province. Fortunately, I have visited around 22 countries in the name of a profession. But after attending the conferences and other things, I was interested to learn about how the community pharmacy works. So I went to him also. So I was a member of International Society of Oncology Pharmacy Practice. There is a society called as International Society of Oncology Pharmacy Analysis. There I was a board member. So I was invited for a board meeting there. So there and then I learned that he was there. So then I made a request him. He came all the way and he picked me up. And in his pharmacy, I saw some different situations. People are having a lot of patients. They are waiting in queues after taking the dispensing the medicine. What is this? So I asked him, his wife also is a pharmacist. So they want to discuss with me about the medicine what they are using. So one after the other, the patient learned and then they went on. So also, one of the patients has built a house and they are so much interested to invite him for the housewarming. No, such a respect. he enjoyed such a good feeling he would take in our this. So this is the concept. This is real. What my father enjoyed in as a country, in all over the world, most of the countries, laws and regulations are practiced, and they to do it, they enjoy. You see, one of my students, Srikanth Garuji, he is also from SAS College of Pharmacy. So he is having a medical shop in the Chatham, near Michigan, across the district. So there, he used to say that his patients are written as my pharmacist. Why my pharmacist? Because he was so close to them. Any patient is there, they will come and see and ask. They trust him. The trust built by your health and your clean ethical behavior. If you have it, you demonstrate it 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, then people will be on your side. Then you can enjoy your professional life. Otherwise, it is not possible. It is not possible. Okay, so now comes to the, can I have a step please? There are so many lacunas. I don't want to focus on lacunas. Mistakes. So many is, I will not going to cover. See, it gives you a provision to earn money. What it says, payment of professional services. A registered pharmacist engaged in the practice of pharmacy is eligible to charge money. Isn't it? Are you aware of this? So please, don't hesitate to ask it. Okay, next slide please. So obligations, you are obliged. As a pharmacist, as a registered pharmacist, you are obliged. You are supposed to do. What are you supposed to do? Over-utilization and under-utilization. Take a prescription. Take your standard book, orange book, or whatever you call it as. Check whether they do it properly or not. Drug utilization. And then therapeutic duplication. In our country, we have more than 1 lakh formulations. Please understand that. We have more than 1 lakh formulations. It means the same content is repeated. There is a possibility of duplication. And what happens? What is the major peril of duplication? If there is the same drug repeated in 2-3 drugs, 2-3 formulations, chances of overdosage. And it is the waste. It is waste to give the same drug in 3 forms. It doesn't improve the health condition. Isn't it? Who are the patients? Your own mother, your own father, your own sister, your own brother. What are you doing? You are not looking into prescription. Our principle, right? He said, today only you go and take the prescription and make a study of that prescription and make the right. Because by taking drugs, quality of life will not improve. By using drugs in a scientific, meaningful manner will improve the quality of life. Please understand this. And then there are drug disease interactions, duration of treatment, drug allergy interactions, all these things are there. Clinical abuse and misuse also is there. All the major challenges we as the pharmacists have to attend. After next please. Okay. Duties of registered pharmacists, I don't want to speak about it. Next. Responsibilities of registered pharmacists. Go for next. Go for next. So there is a punishment also is there. But law itself is not unheard of. Not implemented, so nobody is afraid of punishment. There may be and there is no law. Lawless land. As far as the pharmacy practice is concerned, it is a lawless land. People can do anything, people can buy anything, people can end up with anything. Way you are doing, you will be alert because it is at your expense. You are a pharmacist, you are paying a lot of money to study so. This knowledge is not being utilized. Who is a class? You are a class and your patients are a class. Yeah. Move. More. Yeah, this is one small experiment. Kathmandu University. I was working in Manipal at the time she joined me for a internship. And after her internship, she opened a clinic, pharmaceutical care clinic, pharmaceutical care center. So what she used to do, she used to visit doctors. And she faced this. And then doctors cannot look into the patient. For example, the chronic disease. Chronic disease they can't look. They just prescribe and because they have a lot of few patients. So at least on few patients, if he refers to a pharmacist will help the patient and also help the doctor. No, this is the role. And then she did it like this for 2-3 years. She is still in my contact. Okay? And she has to close down because it was not popular. It didn't get popular. You need a lot of patience to stay, keep a particular principle and fight throughout life. Isn't it? Yeah, exactly. These are a study. She worked on diabetes patients and she gave pharmaceutical care. See? And then she made 2 groups. One group no care, other group care. And the also study she made it because of physical reasons. So she found a distinct difference in the quality of life of the patients who are provided pharmaceutical care. You can see that. Okay. Yeah. And next group. This is all. We established an association called the Association of Community Farms of India. Still is active, and then we are working through it. We wanted to do several things. Many things we flopped. But again, I am standing in front of you to tell some the flop stories also and also the success stories also. Okay. This is the patient part we made, and we used to give it to the patient. So one of the cases I remember here is there was a old lady, Manipal. I worked in Manipal. So all the experiments, most of the experiments are in Manipal. We used to go on Sunday, half day, reserved hall, home meditation. Our friend, my colleague, he will talk about home meditation. So here we went door to door and knocked the door. Myself and this 4-5 students from our group. And then we entered the house and we asked the question, anybody is using medicines in your house? So, many households they use medicine. And then what is the prescription and how you are using it? So we used to make an analysis, we used to make a guidance. So this happened continuously for nearly 5 months. Okay. During the 5 months, we came across a couple who are wife is 74-year-old, husband is 80-year-old, and both children are working in Middle East with their families. And they left the old couple here because they can't go there. These people they this is a reality. Not reality. So they had a problem. And when they checked the prescription, the lady was bedridden. And the husband somehow, he was also weaker, but he was able to manage it out. And they said that this is our condition, so what we have to do. Then I looked at the case. What could have happened? Her prescription said that she is prescribed minerals, multivitamins, and health drinks, everything. Because many other problems. Then what happened? And realized that what he is eating in the diet. So South Indians, Bandha Pidli dosa, Damgiri Mandi dosa, no nutrition, junk food. Year after year junk food, and nutritionally they are at the brink of collapse. And I said, you take green gram. You know? Green gram, you understand? Green gram, 1 teaspoon. Night soak it, in the morning you eat it. For 15 days you do it like that. Because you have to every 15 days. When we went there, after 15 days, they practiced very nicely, both of them. The door was open and the lady was very active. Because nutritional knowledge deficiency has led to her condition. Everybody, the pharmacist used to sell her multivitamins. And the doctor used to sell her so many iron and all these tablets. But still it was not useful because nutrition itself is big mistake they are making. So when the nutrition was given and her backache is gone and she is very fine. So many of you college going girls or boys, for example, you have lethargy, you have weakness. The main idea, main culprit is the protein deficiency. You don't consume proteins. The proteins are easily available in lentil and legumes. So when I used to sit in the medical shop, means the Manipal drug house, in front of the Manipal hospital, Kasturba hospital, Sai Baba Cancer Hospital, one Manipal drug house is there. He is a clinical pipe, he is also electric pipe handling. He has established the medical shop. And he used to give a space for us to practice in the evening. When we started practicing in the evening, then what happened? People used to come, we observed. Then first of all, when we started our BP and the height and measure, GMI and all, people thought that we are telling something, the parties should not go to medication. They started our time. One of my students was very brilliant. Sir, don't worry, the people will rush and come here with it. Then he put a white paper and he said that BP and BMI, blood sugar, metal free. The free were affected. There is huge number of people cured. No, see, this is the psychology. He understood and he made out. And then in that process, he will ask, why you come to medical job? What is your problem? So they use the package is there. So I am using Nimuslide, I am using Diclofenac, Gel, these things. Is it giving you first? No, so works for some time and then again it comes. Then I said, why can't you try our formula? You take this green gram and see in the hostel, how they will manage it. It's also very simple. Why half a kilo of it? And some last minute, one teaspoon you put it in the morning, you along with you. So when I started eating it, they found a relief for the backache. So like that, every problem you have to think innovative and you must understand why that idea came to my mind only, because I am concerned for the people. I have a concern for the people. I have no interest to sell the medicines. Because when you have a concern, you will have this is one of the profession. A mother can be mighty, hearty, or human being. Mother always cares for her children. Whatever be the creator, bacteria also cares for its creatures, children. So like that, mother is the best profession I have found. The best example is the motherhood. So, like mother, you must approach the patient. You must help the patient like mother is helping, without any expectations. So, money will follow you. Money will follow you like anything. Like if following in abroad, why people are respecting pharmacists, because the knowledge he gives is not really expected. Okay? So, this is the, and then we come to the case study. I have a case study here. So, please. So, somebody should read it.
Shraddha.
Faculty is a comfort, they are in comfort zone. They don't know the government comfort. Unless you pick up your comfort zone, you will never come to the field. But all that you come, I give you opportunity. At least volunteers so right?
53-year-old woman as had gastrointestinal acid-related disorders (GORD) diagnosed by endoscopy. Mrs. W has a history of asthma, hypertension, and duodenal ulcer (DU). Our current drug therapy includes amlodipine 10 mg in the morning, salbutamol inhaler 2 puffs as required, beclomethasone metasone inhaler 200 mg twice daily, and theophylline 300 mg twice daily. Mrs. W has recently undergone successful H. pylori eradication therapy, which has been confirmed by carbon-urea breath test. Mrs. W smokes 10 cigarettes a day, has a body mass index of 35, and does not drink alcohol.
Miss W, a 53-year-old woman, has a gastrointestinal acid-related disorder (GORD) diagnosed by endoscopy. Mrs. W has a history of asthma, hypertension, and duodenal ulcer (DU). Her current drug therapy includes amlodipine 10 mg in the morning, salbutamol inhaler 2 puffs as required, beclomethasone inhaler 200 mg twice daily, and theophylline 300 mg twice daily. Mrs. W has recently undergone successful H. pylori eradication therapy, which has been confirmed by carbon-urea breath test. Mrs. W smokes 10 cigarettes a day, has a body mass index of 35, and does not drink alcohol.
Mrs. W, a 53-year-old woman, has had gastrointestinal acid-related disorders (GORD) diagnosed by endoscopy. Mrs. W has a history of asthma, hypertension, and duodenal ulcer (DU). Our current drug therapy includes amlodipine 10 mg in morning, salbutamol inhaler 2 puffs as required, beclomethasone inhaler 200 mg twice daily, and theophylline 300 mg twice daily. Mrs. W has recently undergone successfully H. pylori eradication therapy, which has been confirmed by carbon-urea breath test. Mrs. W smokes 10 cigarettes a day, has a body mass index of 35, and does not drink alcohol.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now let us solve this case. You are a pharmacist and the case has come to you. Doctor has prescribed medicine to you. Whenever you get a case, it is very simple to classify the material in the case study as drug factors, disease factors, and lifestyle factors. So, can I have that? So this is the how they are going to analyze. This is from a book, Handbook of Pharmacy Practice, which is published in 2005 by the collaboration with the FIP and the WHO. This book, soft copy, I will give it to you because there are got several case studies like that. This is about the pharmacy practice only, so you can have this copy with you and then you can see. So, lifestyle factors. See, anybody you go and tell, don't do this, they will say, I will do it. This is the common rule. Don't drink, you will definitely do. Don't smoke, you will definitely do. So, how to resolve this? Is it big nut? Psychological nut? How to hack this? First of all, you study the case. She is having GORD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder. Acid is coming up and burning sensation is horrible. She can't tolerate it. And you have to connect that point to cigarette smoking. You all know that nicotine Nicotine is a psychotropic drug. So it is a drug of use also. So it causes relaxation of the muscles, cardiac muscles, smooth muscles, and as well as the skeletal muscles. But cardiac muscles, you don't much have data. It is very muscles. So whenever there are fingers are there are fingers like this. One finger here and one finger at the bottom of the stomach. When it moves, the nicotine is going to relax the finger and open as it go up and burn. Okay? So that way is the patient. That you reduce the smoking, 10 you are smoking, you reduce it to 5. See, is there any improvement in your sensation? Definitely, you want to experiment. These people who neglect, who say no, they are also ready to experiment. They want to experiment. They feel experiment. And then, when have episodes, we ask them to count the episodes of the gastrointestinal irritation. Every time it comes, so we will report. First week there are 15, and next week when he reduced the smoking to 5 cigarettes, it has come down. So now he starts bleeding. So this is the roots of counseling. You understand? Counseling, you have to connect the condition of the patient to the counseling points. That's very, very important. If you say, don't smoke, okay, they will say, they may not say on your face, but they will definitely. This is the problem. And then coming to the drug factors. The professor is there, in medicinal chemistry, and a lot of medicinal chemistry is a very important branch of pharmacy, isn't it? So, what is its role in pharmacy practice? So, I am going to tell you, it has a role. What drugs is being prescribed? Calcium channel blocker, amlodipine, isn't it? What is this? Calcium channel blocker. It also acts with nicotine. Pharmacological action is to relax the skeletal muscle. So, why amlodipine is given to a patient, this patient? For the management of hypertension, isn't it? So, hypertension is the cause. Hypertension, you have got 10 categories of drugs. Diuretics are there, calcium channels are there, acting on brain are there, so many drugs are there. Why amlodipine should be prescribed? Doctor doesn't know about it, they have prescribed amlodipine. So, it's our responsibility, this doctor, see doctor, amlodipine is not a suitable drug in this condition at this time for the patient. Please change the drug to some other safer drug which will not affect the sphincter tone. It will not interfere with the sphincter tone. Doctors will be very much surprised that you are suggesting such a thing. And it is correct. When you say correct, people have to agree. People have to agree. There is no other way. Because you are talking scientific, you are not talking nonsense. So when doctor gets convinced, he starts realizing your potential. This is what happened in US and other places. This experiment has happened. Like this only, like people come into a very prominent place. And then that is about your the thing. And then theophylline. What is theophylline? Cousin of caffeine. What is caffeine? Every day we take coffee and tea. What does it do? It eliminates glucose. Isn't it? Why theophylline should be given? Is there any alternative? In therapeutics, there are hundreds of plenty of opportunities available. You have to see this drug, instead of this drug, what can be given to get the pharmacological advantage for the patient. Okay. Theophylline के बाद में आप can select other drugs. Okay. Usually what happens in asthma is not a disease that is lifelong. This you have to take it out from your mind. It is conditional. In this case, you have to test whether it is conditional or not. Most of the asthma is developed during the course of aging or during the middle age or something is related to some condition. In her condition, she had a hyperacidity, isn't it? She had a hyperacidity, sphincter to relax, and then that acid would have entered the lungs and causing the asthma. And when she is cured of the URD condition, which is confirmed by carbon urea blood test. What is carbon urea blood test? Because you have to give the patient a radio label urea. And the Helicobacter pylori, the bacteria have got an enzyme called as urease. The urease will be metabolized by the, in case there is a infection is there. After infection, no bacteria, no urease, no radioactivity in the breath. This is all. Okay, she is what the report says. She is cured of Helicobacter pylori infection. It is known as the orthopedic urea, radio label urea. She is not getting any radio label carbon dioxide urea blood test. So now what has happened? Now you can use your health. So there is a P4 meter is available. The patient will go it and find out having a respiratory volume. There are respiratory volumes which are going to decide whether the patient is having asthma or not. So that respiratory P4 meter you have to give and ask the patient to blow it. So he blows it. Then if the respiratory volume is above the above the target levels, then patient is not suffering asthma. But he is taking anti-asthmatic drugs. What for? Because nobody checked. Nobody checked whether he is in asthma or not. Because acid is not there, asthma is not there. It is a condition. That condition will be resolved, and this has to, pharmacist has to identify it and advise the doctor, sir, I have evaluated asthma by using a P4 meter. It indicates that the patient is having more asthma. You can check in your hospital also. So he will also check. And if you find that there is no asthma for the patient, you say that don't, you will prescribe. Be prescribing what? Already prescribed medicine, because the condition is not there, you need to read prescription. Have you come across any doctors re-prescribing? It really happens. Like re-prescribing happens because evaluation takes place. When evaluation takes place, what is the severity of the condition, what is whether it is required or not, such a discussion is very important. Unless it happens, self-relief is a waste. It is business for doctors, nurses, pharmacists, medical industry, except for the patient, because patient has to pay for it. Some decision. Yeah. Who hope no product and pick up approach is very much favored in our country. WHO is warning us. Don't have a product-centric approach. Health is different. Health is not medicines. Consuming more medicines will not give you health. But while the pharmaceutical industry makes us to believe, take this drug, that type, this type, and your health will improve. It is a white lie. Please be cautious. Change it to patient-oriented approach. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. I don't know. Yeah, see. Like you are students, I used to take my students to patient homes. There is a Manipal, putting up Manipal is a type of. The putting there are small houses are there. That is the Patka. Home visits we used to make. So she used to monitor. See, monitoring is most important thing. Monitoring is most important thing. If you don't do it, whether BP drug is taken, how it is working or not, who has to check? Unless you measure every periodically, every day, or every week, you don't know whether the blood pressure is under control or not. You will figure out, even for the GMI. The monitoring is the biggest opportunity in the home medication review. So you have to adopt the patient, you have to monitor the patient condition. Next, these are all the things. These are all done by our ACCI, Association of Community Hospital. Students like you. So, when you tell that you can do good things, you are what, when your teacher backs up at you, you do wonderful things. This is what has happened. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Home meditation review. Yeah. All this, yeah. These are all the evidences of home meditation review which has appeared in the international press. Yeah. Next slide, please. There are the collection of studies in every field is good. That pharmacy practice, pharmaceutical care, there is no replacement, and you have to do it if you want to do good till the patient centered care. You will penalize it. Yeah. So attitude, knowledge, practice, and then the skills. When you have you see, I told that I learned about a nutritional deficiency by observing the patient. And I developed what 50 given. That is a skill. And I practiced it to so many people. Yeah. Thank you very much. And then, again, 5 minutes. Because entrepreneurship, I want to talk about entrepreneurship. So here there is an opportunity. You please text me on WhatsApp. Those who want to do this entrepreneurship. My number is go down. (99) 00 40 74 16. So you send a WhatsApp message. Today evening there is an important meeting by a company called Forever Living. I will ask them to send you a link. So attend those meetings about motor figures. I will talk about it after whatever is okay. So till then I hand over the mic to organizer and also Dr. Mahadev.
ಬೇಗ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಪಿಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋರು ಮಾದೇವ್ ಭಟ್ಟಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಾದೇವ್ ಭಟ್ಟಿ.
Thanks so much for the lecture on community pharmacy and the importance of pharmaceutical care. Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause to Dr. Nagappa Nayak.
ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ, ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅವ್ರವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಸರ್. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
So can you hear us? Yes, sir. So we welcome virtually Dr. Mahadev Bhatt sir, joining us from California, US. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Mahadev Bhatt sir. Presently, sir is a retired clinical and community pharmacist. And Dr. Bhatt had completed his graduation from LM College of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad in 1972. Started his career in US right after his graduation. Sir has nearly 50 years of experience as a pharmacist in US, 18 years in industry as a plant manager, operation manager and R&D director, 12 years as a director of hospital pharmacy. And he has owned 4 community pharmacy in US. which were, where home health care was given, injectable preparation, diabetic care, asthma care, breast cancer counseling were all provided. And later on, Sir joined the voluntary village training in 2003 and retired in later 2016. Sir has delivered more than 350 webinars related to community pharmacy services. Please join with me welcoming Dr. Bhatt sir with a huge round of applause. Next to you, sir.
Thank you. It's around 9:35 in Los Angeles. So it should be around 11 o'clock. And I thought that the program is only up to 11:30. So I don't know I have enough time or not. According to me, I am not criticizing anybody. 8 o'clock here,
Full
it should be
cottage.
around 9:30 in the morning.
Full ಇದೆ.
We are late.
11.
I get a phone call around 7:50 that the program will start after 45 minutes.
ಫುಲ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
It is very important to be punctual if you want to be a professional, if you want to get respect. So let's start with the thing. I don't think I can cover all the slides in half an hour. Community Connect is a program
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ
where
ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಸೌಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ
you
ಮಾಡಿ
have
ಅವ್ರು
a chance
ಅವ್ರು
to
ಕೊಡು.
make more
ಮೈಲ್
money.
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ
ನಮ್ಮ ಫುಲ್ ಇದೆ
Can
ಸರ್.
somebody put up the
ನಾನು
slides or
ಫುಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
you cannot, that's fine, I can go on, okay?
Sir, you can take extra amount of time, sir. We don't have any
2
issues.
days back, I sent 2 sets of presentations. One which I was going to talk here today, or which I am talking here now, and the other set was for all of you to read at home. I don't know you got it or not, but if you didn't get it, please talk to the coordinator or your principal, because we have got a copy of these too.
ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಸರ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ವಿಂಡೋಸ್ ಇದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್? ಸರ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಎವ್ರಿ ಫುಲ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
So, like your voice is low, sir. Can we increase your voice output from there, sir? Can you speak a little louder, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Slight louder, sir. A little bit more.
I have to try find out.
Sir, you can take your own time, sir. We don't have any issues, sir. You can extend your own whole session, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Let's, if you do not have the slide, that's fine. The first slide is about the community connect and how to
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್
make
ಹಾಕಿ ಅವ್ರು
money.
ತೆಗೀರಿ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಹಾಕಿ
The reason we all need money because we need a good life. How can you make money if you do not show that what you can do? I'm going to go through some of the things we do here,
ಬರ್ತಿದೆ
and that's the reason I wrote down on the very first slide that wind blowing from west to the east. Now I will come to the second slide. Everybody knows what prescription is. And if I ask you the definition of a prescription, it is not going to come to me the way I think about it. In my personal opinion, prescription is an order by the prescriber to the pharmacy to dispense for the patient. It is an order to the pharmacy to dispense for the patient. Now, do we do that?
The next slide, please. We might say that people come here and in India we sell the drugs without prescription. No, that is not the criteria. Criteria is that something came to you in writing. Did you give your patient in writing what to do? Doctor has given you in writing, but you just handed him a 10 tablets or a 30 tablets, a strip of tablets, go and take it and take twice a day. This is the complete disconnection. You have been told to do it in writing, you did not follow it up. So how can you get a respect? Why do you want to give up something where you can identify yourself? We kind of lose the opportunity here. Now suppose that medication needs to be recalled. There is something wrong with that medication. How will you recall it? Because you did not take this of the patient. You do not have the lot number of the patients. You did not write the prescription label. So there are so many things was missed by the pharmacy to gain the respect. So if we do our part right, then we can get the respect, and then people will pay you money for it. The next slide, please. As Dr. Ananta mentioned, pharmacy is a teamwork. As a matter of fact, healthcare profession is a teamwork. You are trusted to give a medication to the consumer by the order of the doctor. Medicine are like mothers, like Ananta said that, medicine are like mother. Everybody needs that. Come to think of it, no one comes to pharmacy or a hospital to say, hi sir, how are you doing, good morning, or they don't come to propose you there, that hey, this is the flower and I love you. No, it doesn't happen there. They come there because they are sick. If people are sick, you are supposed to help them. The next slide, please. There are 5 basic principles, and I have sent you the template, so I'm going to go through this thing very, very quickly. There is a thing called BMR, HMR, MTN, QUM, ADE, and TMR. These are the terminologies I have explained in the other literature, which your principal or your coordinator should give it to you, or they have already given it to you. But one thing is missing here, which we cannot explain. Since the people are sick, you have to have some kind of empathy, some compassion. You cannot tell a man that you are sick, so you take this. No. You tell them, this is your health condition, and we can manage the health condition. In my personal opinion, blood pressure is not a disease. Hyperlipidemia is not a disease. Diabetes is not a disease. Hypertension is not a disease. Everybody has a blood pressure value. Everybody has a blood sugar value. Everybody has a cholesterol value. It just got imbalanced. So you need to manage them, and you are going to help them. So whatever you do there, you do it with some empathy. Now, if you say that there is no collection of data at the point of dispensing, then in my opinion, it is not the negativity. That should give you more chances to make money. Just because somebody is not doing it, it doesn't mean that we should capitalize out of that. brown bag medication review is a part of it. Either you ask patient to come to your pharmacy or you go to patient's home, collect all the medication and tell them what they are. Patients doesn't know the medication by the name. They know that this is a brown pill, this is a yellow pill, this is a white pill, you know. Some tablets are round, some tablets are elongated, and that's the way they take it. The next slide, please. Now, how can you give any kind of a suggestion to anybody if you do not have the data? If you do not have the books, can you study? Yeah, in old days, people used to go to the Rishi Muni and they study in a jungle and things like that. But things are like, not like that. You have to have some kind of a data to make an intelligent decision. So, how do you collect the data? The point of dispensing didn't do their job. So there is a gap. If you are a B Pharm student or a M Pharm student or if you are assistant professor or anybody, if I ask you that do you have a medication profile for your family members? Most probably I am going to get the answer, yeah, I know what I give it to my wife or what I give it to my children. You know, I am a professor at the college or I am an associate professor at the college. So I know what I am giving them. But do you have it in writing? In my personal opinion, you learn to collect the data, every part of the medications they have got in their house and who is taking them. You should have a patient name, you should have a patient date of birth, name of the doctor, you know, allergy condition, what medications they are taking, and then bring it to your college. Your academic staff has a knowledge because they have already passed the exam and they can tell you which medication goes with what. Now, if you do not bring the problem to the teacher, how are they going to teach you? You know, they don't know what medications are there, so you have to be a little bit proactive. You know, it's like milking the cow, you know. Your teachers have got the knowledge. How do you milk them out? You know, how do you take advantage of their knowledge? The next slide, please. You all must have seen that doctors make a house call. And when they make a house call, they come and give you an injection. And sometimes I really wonder, you know, why everybody has to get an injection when the doctor comes to the house. Is patient that serious? If it was serious, then they would move it to the hospital. You know? Now, if doctor can visit the patients at home, why can't pharmacists visit them at home? You know? And find out that what are the health conditions they have got. A very simple example is that most of the people above the age of 40, they take enteric-coated aspirin. And you all have learned in your pharmacy career that what is enteric-coated aspirin. It is supposed to bypass the stomach and dissolve in the intestine. The reason is that because it's an NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medication, so it will upset the stomach and it might cause a gastritis. Now imagine that that person has taken a protein pump inhibitor on previous day at night, so his stomach is not going to produce enough acid in the morning, and if that person goes and takes, you know, enteric-coated aspirin, along with the protein pump inhibitor, it is going to dissolve in the stomach because the stomach is already alkaline. So it is going to cause problem. Now, being a pharmacy student, if you start learning these small things by collecting the data and writing down what your family members are taking, at least you will learn how to make more money. There are targeted medication review, there are drug utilization review, there are dialysis patients, what food they can eat, what food they cannot eat, and then you can start applying these things to your patients. Suppose you decide to charge 1,000 rupees a family, okay? And there are two people in that family, those who are above the age of 50. You go and check their blood sugar, you go and check their blood pressure, go and check their oxygen, there is the oximeter, very simple thing. Go and check their heart rate, make a medication profile, and remind them that why these medications are given to them, they will be more than happy to pay you. Just visit them twice a month. And suppose you've got 10 patients like that, it's an income of $10,000. Don't you like money? Why, I heard Ananta saying that some people are, they become comfortable in their job. But there is a chance to make money. Every teacher here in a pharmacy school will work on the weekend in a pharmacy because they get paid around $65 to $70 an hour. Every pharmacist here makes at least $100,000 a year. But they have to perform. And they cannot perform alone, but they have to stay in touch with the medication. Now, you have to start developing this entrepreneurial thing, from the beginning. I don't know, I sent that slide to them. There are two American girls who live in India, and their father was IIT professor. Then he was transferred to America, and he got married here. Then again he came back to India. And one of them is a dietitian, and I forgot the name of the other girl. They developed a thing called kombucha, Kombucha. They were the first one. It is a 25 crore business, okay? They take a black tea, they fermented it, and they are selling it. A person is not a pharmacist, but they are selling the product which has the intestinal flora. Because it is a fermented product, it comes from a black tea. A 12 gram of black tea will make a 1 gallon of kombucha. But these girls, they wanted to do it. They did it when they were students. I will send Pradeep or Dr. Mohammed the video clips. They were on your. So you can develop a program by visiting people and finding it out how you can help the community. The next slide, please. Okay, I kept this slide blank because I didn't know that how much time I was going to get, but I will explain to you what happens when you put a free blood pressure check and what are its impacts. And this is a true story. Just before I was going to retire, it was a long weekend, and I retired in May or June, so this was previous year. So it must be a Thanksgiving weekend, sometime in November, and I was working the weekend with one senior technician. Senior tech makes around $35 an hour, and I was the manager of the pharmacy. And generally, whenever I work, I would like to take load a bit easier, so I will have a senior tech accompany me, And we had a sign outside that we do the blood pressure check. So there were two people walking into the pharmacy around 3 or 3:30. One of them is around 40 years old. Other girl was around 12 or 13 years old. And she came and said that my mom doesn't feel good. I would like to take the blood pressure. She was a little bit red flash. So I gave them a piece of paper to fill it out. And that required to write down the patient's name and the doctor's name and if they have taken any medication or if they have been to the pharmacy or not. Because I did that, the young girl got upset with me. He says, are you going to take the BP or not? So either I can say very nicely, according to law, if you don't fill that form out, I won't take it. But I didn't want her to do that. So I told Isha, that why don't you do the paperwork and let me go out and measure the blood pressure. And that girl will help you to fill out the things we need. So I went outside, I sat with her, and I took the blood pressure. I think it came on that particular time 237/90. That's pretty high. Your pharmacology professor will tell you. She was a Hispanic person. I can understand Spanish, but I cannot speak Spanish that fluently. But the Isha could speak Spanish very well. So I took one time, so I wanted to give some chance to find out more history. And I had to alert the store manager that we might need to call an ambulance because we might have to transport the patient to the hospital. So I asked for extra help. And then Isha told me that I should get into the pharmacy now. So I knew that she found something which she wants me to see. So while coming outside, I told her, Isha, find out what is happening with this girl, because she looks annoyed. And it is a long weekend, so either they had a fight at home, or something happened and she came here. So when I went inside the pharmacy, the form which that lady had filled out, she happens to be our patient. She has been coming to our pharmacy for 2 years. Now what I'm trying to impress you is that how does the data collection helps? That girl had taken Cipro 500 milligram twice a day for 3 days for UTI infection. She had taken regularly birth control pill from us, and she had taken, we call it a plan B, I don't know what you call it in India. It's called emergency contraceptive. Because sometimes they forget to take their birth control pills, so you need after the fact. And she was late in picking up. It's not that she was real late, but she was around 48 hours. So I had made a note in the file. And she was also taking a medication called metoprolol, Tartarate, 50 milligrams, 1 tablet twice a day. Now what does this tell me? The patient is in the habit of having a therapy adherence problem. Because one time she was supposed to pick up it and she did not pick it up. Here the patient has a medication at home according to my count, because she picked up from my pharmacy. So I said, okay. So while I was coming out, Isha tells me that she found out that she has not taken the medication 3 times. And I said, what? He said, well, it was a long weekend, all the relatives came, they had a lot of food and fun, all the men started drinking beer, and the women were talking about their stuff, and then somebody said something about somebody's children, just like India, that my child is better than you, and my son is better than you, and my daughter is more pretty than you, And then they all went home. And then this girl came to the pharmacy. So I got my answer. I said, okay, now we can handle this case. Beta blocker, when you don't take, what happens? I don't need to have the answer now, but you can talk to your pharmacology department and they will tell you. It's a remote blood pressure thing. Thank God she was not taking Ketapres. Ketapres is, the blood pressure would have gone to 300, if you stop taking that. So, I wanted to break the ice. So I told Isha, go and pick up a 16 ounce of coconut water and give it to that girl. And calm her down and ask her to breathe through her right nostril in and left nostril out. And if she can do it for 10 times, then I will come and measure the blood pressure again. By giving her the coconut water, I wanted to create for her to go to the bathroom and void the bladder. Because coconut water has got some extra potassium and that will help to induce the diuresis. So this is about 5-10 minutes, and I come out, I looked at her, she's smiling now. Her doctor tells me that mom is feeling good because she might have liked the coconut water. I said, would you like to go to the bathroom? And she says, yeah. So she went to the bathroom, she came back, and I said, did you breathe 10 times? She says, no, I breathed 3 times. I said, why didn't you try 5 more times? So I told her daughter that, can you help your mom? So I'm trying to make these things better. I measured the blood pressure after 10 or 15 minutes. The blood pressure dropped to 150/82. So, I had a prescription on file. She had taken the medication from my pharmacy. According to my calculations, still she had some medication at home and she agreed that she needs some doses. So I loaned 1 tablet. And I gave her some water that you take this metoprolol and when you go home at night, you take another one when you go to sleep. So the manager comes to me and he says, what is going on? Shall we call the paramedic? I said, no, problem is solved and this patient can go home. Now my duty is not finished here. The patient left. I went inside the pharmacy and I wrote an email to the doctor. I think her name was Dr. Leon. I said, dear doctor, such and such thing happened, patient came at this time, this was the condition, and whatever I explained to you, I wrote down. And in the end, I said, this patient has got a slight problem of adherence to the regime. So at this point, I would like to suggest to you that you will be very happy to manage this patient if you give her metoprolol succinate 100 milligrams once a day. It comes in generic and it has got the same copay because in America we have got a copay. We don't pay the whole thing, either we pay $3 or $2 or $5. If it's a brand name, we might pay $30 or $40, And the patient has got a right not to get the brand name, the generic is available, because the patient has to take the medication. Doctor doesn't pay for it. So I went home. I was not working on Monday. Monday I get a phone call at home that Uncle Dave, we have got a big cake. That woman has come who was here yesterday and she is so happy that she wants to give cake to everybody. I said, she doesn't know that I am diabetic, but you guys can put the cake in the lunchroom and let everybody in the pharmacy, have the cake.
Hello? Huh?
Then I got another phone call after 2 hours that Dr. Leon is in the driveway because each pharmacy has a driveway. and they would like to thank you that you wrote them an email and you took care of their patient. And doctor would like the number for the corporate because they want to recommend you. I said, you don't have to give that number, let them just talk to the manager and that's it, you know. I made a friendship with the doctor. That person was so happy. The whole idea is that pharmacy, one of their duties is to avoid the unnecessary admission to the hospital. If I give you the calculation, you will be surprised. I avoided an unnecessary admission to the hospital in emergency. To call an ambulance is $200. To go to the hospital and, you know, get a wheelchair and you wheel the patient in, that is another $150. You give your insurance card, you know, and the nurse will come into the triage, that is $350 extra. If doctor decides to keep you in the hospital and they give you an emergency room bed, that's another $1,000. Now, once you get the bed, they have to put all the IVs, because suppose something goes wrong, then the laboratory will come. They will do the blood analysis. All the test comes back, then only doctor will come and diagnose it. That's another $5,000. And that is a burden on the insurance company, and the burden on the society, and the burden on the government. Would you like to help your country? You have got a great role to play. You can't say that my teacher didn't tell me. That's why I don't know. No. You have to make their brain. You have to do some kind of an activity where they know that this particular student would like to learn more. You know, I get phone calls from all over India. Thanks to Dr. Ananta, because of him I am able to do these things. And they tell me about their family things, they tell me about their patients, and we try to solve the problem. But you have to be assertive. The next slide, please.
Slide, Korsala.
Being a pharmacy, we have a social responsibility.
Better.
And what are those social responsibilities?
Slide better.
It's not that whenever there is a COVID, you go and show your social responsibility, or whenever there is a cholera or a diarrhea or a malaria, you do that. Social responsibility comes at every second of life. And I will give you a couple of other examples. One time I had a phone call that I would like to fill my birth control pill, and my husband will come and pick up the medication, and we are going for the vacation. Because she was around, a few days earlier, to fill the medication. And then all of a sudden, I get another prescription from a doctor about amoxicillin, 500 milligram, one capsule 4 times a day until dawn, for the same patient. Now, antibiotic and birth control pill, they don't go together. That is a prescription for pregnancy. Because the effectiveness of the birth control pill will go down by 27%. It is taken along with the antibiotic. Now, how am I going to tell the husband? Because she is not coming to pharmacy. She is going on a vacation. I'm quite sure she is not planning to make a baby there, because she is picking up a birth control pill from us. So, once you know these things, so I made a mark on the field prescription that I should see the patient, whosoever comes to pick up the medication. So when the husband came in, and he says, "Is things ready for my wife?" I said, "Yeah, it is ready, but can I talk to you for a second?" And I said, "She went to the dentist, right?" He said, "Yeah, she had a toothache, and she is to get a root canal when we come back." I said, "Can I suggest you use some alternate method of contraception?" And he says, why? I said, it's an extra protection, and you need to do that and enjoy your vacation. So he started laughing. He understood what I'm trying to tell him. He went and picked up some condom, and he was on his own. I took care of a social problem. How many times a pharmacist will do that? Now, the case study Dr. Nanta was doing, 3 girls came out. Congratulations. But do you really know what was the problem of that medication? Ananta did say that. What is the problem? Calcium channel blocker. Everybody who takes calcium channel blocker, they will have a gastritis. They will end up taking proton pump inhibitors. I was talking to Dr. Mahmood, I think yesterday, and I was telling him, anybody who takes more than 5 milligrams of amlodipine, they will have a problem of the ankle edema. Once you take the patient is a smoker, he should have or she should have a problem with the splinter muscle. Why do you want to start a calcium channel blocker by expanding the peripheral artery, loosening it up, and then reduce the blood pressure? When you take medication inside the mouth, they doesn't know the distance between the peripheral arteries and vein and the stomach. Everything is same, all muscles are same to them. It will loosen the wall too. So the acid will go up. Same thing, I think I wrote an email to your principal and he was kind enough to read it about me not knowing much about the chemistry, And I wish I would have done more when I was a student. But the maximum problem in any country is NC and protein formation inhibitors. एक चीज दो दूसरी लेनी पड़ेगी, but you can avoid that. If I ask any one of you, what is the most over-prescribed medication of hyperlipidemia? And most probably, I think I will get the answer, statin drugs. It comes in, statin, lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, are used. And they go from atorvastatin, they go from 10 milligram, 20 milligram, 40 milligram, things like that. Anybody who takes that drug, within 3 months, they will have a leg cramps. And they will have a lumbago, their functions will lower down. Now, if you are in a pharmacy, if you know this is going to happen, isn't it, you should recommend them something. Study your nutraceuticals. And there is a thing called coenzyme Q10. Okay? If you take 200 milligram a day, it helps you to avoid their side effects. I belong to Kaiser Foundation and I go there for biomedical checkup. In Kaiser Foundation, anybody who is prescribed the hyperlipidemia medication, they will take coenzyme Q10. It is not a prescription item. It is over the counter. And they will also take a magnesium supplement. Now, what does coenzyme Q10 do? I think we studied biochemistry in second BPharm, if I'm not wrong. That's where I studied in 1972, ADP, ATP cycle, and simvastatin will block that, so the energy will be produced less, so the muscle cramps happen. All the heart muscles and these other muscles in the body will get help if you take a magnesium supplement. Now you have got this knowledge. You studied in the second year of BPharm, you might study a few things in the third year of BPharm, but remember that and utilize that when you practice. Now you can't say that this was not taught to us, only thing is that you might have skipped it. If I studied in 1972, you guys are a lot smarter than me. You know, because your syllabus looks fantastic, which lot of things I didn't study at that time. You know? Same way, anytime you take a antibiotic, especially for children, you have to use probiotics. In South India, it's no problem because they say that you cannot stop a South Indian eating their curd rice. You know, you can never stop that because they always like to have that. That will, especially the girls will say that no, their husband would have to have curd rice. They will not get up from the chair. You know, if you give curd rice, it helps the patient to have diarrhea a little bit later. And it has been an established fact, and Anita can give you some more information about it. There is an antibiotic book he has got. A study is done, and especially for girls, those who have bilateral otitis media, in short, earache, okay? They were given antibiotic very discriminately when they were young. When these girls grew up and they became 15 to 16 years old, they could not take any antibiotic because it gave them the yeast infection. Because they had, they already started having a period. So whenever these girls were given the antibiotic, they had to give them 150 milligram of diflucan for 2 days. So you are getting antibiotic, but you are getting a double whammy. You also take antifungal to avoid a UTI, to avoid a chlamydia infection. And we created that. Pharmacist was not responsible for that, but that's the way the people practice, and that's the way it was given in the book. But we have to play a part in between. I have never ever said that doctor is wrong. I have never ever said that. I always try to say the things that this will make the situation better. Now, you cannot say that, doctor, can you give some other medication available because she is also taking nicotine? No, you should name that other medication what she has to give, because doctors are so busy. You have to assist them in selecting a drug. You have to give them one or two choice, and then you go from there. Then the doctor will have respect for you. But you go to the hospital or say, I don't know, I said this is the wrong drug. No, at that point it was the right drug for him because he didn't have all the information. So you help the doctor to create a better data. I think it is getting late now, Nutraceutical study is very important, and some of the things I think in South India are very popular, you all must have heard about the name Dr. Khadavali, who got a Padma Shri award, who is known as the Millet Man of India. He has got 5 Sri Dhanya millet. They all are nutraceuticals. I take them. Okay, in India it sells for $1 a pound. Here we pay $9 a pound. Every day, I eat them. I don't eat rice that much. Aloe vera gel, I think Ananta can tell you a lot of things about it, because I also started drinking aloe vera juice since last I think week and a half. There is a very another good product called moringa leaves. You know, it can grow in any country. In Gujarati they call it sargo, you know. And I have been told by some of my South Indian friends, you know, that when a girl gets married, you know, they make sure that they give them moringa leaves, you know, so they can conceive the babies better. So that tree has got so many uses. You should know all these things so you can help the patient. You know, you should increase your reading thing. The professor can only teach you what is in the syllabus, because if he doesn't finish the syllabus, you will not pass the exam. Because they have got a PCI and they have got so many other things to do, and they have to finish the curriculum. But they are not going to say no to you if you bring them the question. But are you doing that? You know, make a medication profile, go and give it to one of the assistant professors. You know, Dr. Principal, no disrespect to you, but I love assistant professor more than the professors, okay? Because 10 years from now, they will be utilizing your check. So if they help you, you know, the students will come out much better. So I have a very humble request to all the assistant professors that please get involved with your students. Give them something to ask you something. And make some extra money. Why do you want to teach all the time, you know? You know, and in that way, you know, the biggest thing you can do, you can increase the life expectancy of the Indian nation. People live longer. You know, there is Amrut Kal coming. You know, invite some during the election, invite somebody who is fighting the election from your area and tell them that your college is doing this thing, you know, helping the community. Students can go to the pharmacy and sit outside and do a free blood pressure check, do things, you know. As a matter of fact, the community should come to the college to ask them for the guidance. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me, and I wish you all luck. I think Pradeep and your principal and Dr. Mahmood has got my WhatsApp number. Feel free to call me anytime you want. I will try to help you, but give me at least 12 hours time difference, okay? Because आपके वहाँ दिन है, मेरे वहाँ रात है, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the session. It was really wonderful and very meaningful. We got the importance of knowledge and why this therapeutics knowledge is very much essential to provide better patient care. Thank you so much, sir.
I said I will be speaking to you about the business of opportunity. This is an American organization called as Forever Living. I gave my phone number also. I did not receive a proper response. Please again, this will give you an opportunity to earn and make these people life better by recommending and billing. You don't have to zero investment. There is nothing you can. You have to learn about the product. The product is about aloe vera juice. Now this is the key product. And I am using that product, and I was something like anything, I was down with diabetes, diabetes, so many things are there. So after using this product, people say that you are become very healthy and your face has changed a lot. A lot of good things have happened to me. So for diabetes and all these things, this product is a boon. You know, it acts like, you know, like a cleansing agent. What I wanted to say, when you consume this product, the toxins are there everywhere. You must be aware of this. It is there in the food, it is there in the air, it is there in the water. So whenever we take these toxins, and then when we don't throw
ಯಾರ್ದು
off the body, this is
ಎರಡೂ
going
ಇದೆ
to cause your joint pain, many things. So it is a new concept, and this company located in America, Arizona, American Islands, and another office in Bangalore also. And then what they are doing, they are making it as a business opportunity for youngsters like you, like my son, my father, my grandfather. Suppose my son does any billing. See, the only billing is required. Convincing the people, taking money from them and billing them. No investment, nothing. So you do it, and there are various levels are there. Depending on your activity, they will promote you, and then you will get a very good income. 15 to 25,000 rupees easily one can earn if they work sincere. Only thing is you have to meet the patient and then convince them that this is the truth. So can you please let director, internet director,
ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್
then you put it to the forever living. Forever living, not going to.
ಅವರು ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ
1:30 ಆಗಿದೆ.
This is not wrong. This is an excellent opportunity. All pharmacy people should practice this.
ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Please note down the phone number also. Company is conducting some seminars. So those who want invitations, please send me to my number. Again, one more number is there. I'll give you that. Is it connected?
ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಓಪನ್
Forever living.
ಏನು ಬೇಕು
ಫಾರೆವರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್
ಮಿಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಂಗ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಫಾರೆವರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್
ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು
So please note down another number of mine. This is 9739
ಮತ್ತೆ
49 3004. Again I will repeat. 9739 49 3004. You have to send a WhatsApp message telling your name, which class, which college. Because I am going to so many colleges, so I am the subject campus. So I will respond to you. So this is the product.
ಯಾವುದು ಅದೇ
The first one you can open.
ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್
You please go down this website first of all. Forever Living, and then scroll up. So aloe vera is a cleansing agent. Actually, this is a concept of Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, it is also known as Kumari. You know why this company, even Patanjali makes it, not Retri Body. Here they are giving you a business opportunity. I told you what is the business opportunity. You have to convince the people, get their money, and you can bill them in your own account. You should have an account, you know. For that thing, you have to attend the 4 seminars. So if you attend the 4 seminars, things will become concept, clear, and I will send you a form. You fill that form, and then you will join the preferred business owner. Preferred business owner. After you do some business, then you will be promoted to assistant supervisor. supervisor, manager, and say the preferred business owner or the assistant supervisor, you can get, depending on the billing amount, you can get around 15 to 25,000 while you are a student itself. You have to do it by identifying the people, and the diabetes is so much common, joint pain is so much common. It works in all these conditions. Okay, so this is the opportunity. Have you noted down the website? You have noted down my number? So please send me a message today evening at 7 o'clock. YouTube live company is arranging. I will send them to send you an invitation for the attending the webinar. So like that, 4 days are there. Today is on YouTube live. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and the other 3 days is on Zoom. You have to download the Zoom. Okay? You attend these things and then send me that screenshots that you attended, and I will send it to them, and they will send you a form, and then that form you can fill it up, and you can earn also. So the entrepreneurship, see, you must be able to convince the people. So for that, I use product myself. I have consumed 1.5 months, 6 bottles I consumed, and my health improved a lot. Really, I am very thankful to this for our company because it has made this thing, and I have been recommending this, and people are getting good health. So the alternative medical system we call that. So this is available in Bangalore and also the 20 offices, and in 160 countries. This company has operating in 160 countries, and in Arizona they have and Dominican Islands 7,500 acres of land they have taken, and in that they are growing aloe vera. After 3 years they are harvesting it, bottling it, and sending it to 160 countries. Understand? So now with our responsibility, the only thing is they are asking you to approach the person, convince him about the product, take his money and bill him through your account. Okay? Thank you very much. And any questions and answers?
Can you reveal the price?
The price also varies. Suppose if you bill from your account, it sends you. If I bill for you, it will be less. That's all. And it is a multi-level in marketing. Company is not for the money. They have got restrictions on how many bottles they can purchase. Because it's also developing, So you have to build your own team. Like I am building my own team, and everyone has to build his own team after the account is open. Then they will get passive income. This team, anybody does it, I will get benefit. He also will get benefit. So like that it goes on. So as for the price, it is 1,300 rupees per bottle. When you bill through your account. Otherwise, it's 17. If somebody else bills for you. Any other question you have? And then it has got nutraceuticals and cosmetics also. So when you explore the website, you will learn about it. Okay. No questions? Thank you.
Thank you for the information, sir. Now I request our principal, sir, to facilitate our chief guest, Dr. Nagapana, sir. I invite the facilitation committee to facilitate our chief guest, Dr. Nagapana, sir. this, the organizing committee would like to express gratitude to our patron, Sri GMIPSR sir, for his constant support for the event. We also thank Mr. Vayu Subhas sir for his constant support. And we express our deep gratitude to our resource speakers, Dr. Nagappa Nayak sir and Dr. Mahadev Bhatt sir, for joining us through the session and giving us valuable information about the community pharmacy services and enlightening us the importance of knowledge. How when we have a proper knowledge, how we can save the patient time and how we can prevent emergency department visits and how we can financially support the patient when we have a proper knowledge. Thank you so much for enriching us with essential knowledge. We express our gratitude to GMIT principal Sanjay Pandey sir and Tejasvi Katamani sir for their constant support for the event. We express our deep gratitude to our dynamic principal Dr. Girish Bolkati sir for encouraging us to organize these kinds of webinars. We also thank Dr. Nirmal sir and Dr. Amit sir for joining us in this webinar. The organizing committee would like to express very deep gratitude to the members of promotional committee, hospitality committee, broadcasting committee, discipline committee for their extraordinary work and enthusiasm. Thank you so much, team. And lastly, the organizing committee would also like to thank all the students and viewers for joining us for this webinar. Please, one huge round of applause to all the committee members and for your support. And we also thank all the non-teaching staff for their contribution in the event. And once again, thank you all for joining us for this webinar. Have a good day. Thank you very much.